Good evening, everyone, and thank you for being here this evening. I would like to start by giving you some instructions, and what I'm going to need you to do is to first close your eyes. Don't close them yet. Close your eyes, because I'm going to take you on a journey, take your imagination on a journey, and then when I snap my fingers, I want you to open your eyes. Okay? So, everyone, close your eyes. Now, I want you to imagine that you are a minority girl, let's say, who was raised in the urban community of Oak Cliff. And let's say you were the product of a broken home with an alcoholic mother and Vietnam vet dad who was subject to dramatic mental breakdowns. Life wouldn't be that easy for you. And it would be fraught with numerous domestic and socio-economic challenges. Then on top of all that, let's say you became a teenage parent, all by the 10th grade. Now, are you overwhelmed? Close your eyes. Well, are you afraid? Are you intimidated? Would you be defeated by the hand that life dealt you? Well, wouldn't you still have hopes and dreams for yourself, for your child? But how would you achieve them? What type of life can you possibly offer your baby at the age of 16? Would you be the stereotypical urban dropout destined for low-income housing and income and poverty? And how would society see you? How would society treat you? Now, I want you to think, what if that was you? Because it was me. And who am I? I am Sandy Collier with LinkedIn, and I'm awesome, and I became successful. So let me present to you our executive team that we have here tonight, and we'll begin with
James Holman, COO.
Hubert, Chief Development Officer. Hafsa, Chief Marketing Officer.
Mike, Chief Information Officer.
And Jared, the Chief Financial Officer.
And we are here tonight to ask you, the Chamber of Dallas, to partner with us to help us attack the plight of unemployment in the southern sector of Dallas. More specifically, the zip code of 75210. And that is the zip code that you've seen that's been in the news lately. Y'all have seen all the stories. And so what we're going to start out tonight, we're going to have an agenda today that's going to first talk about the significance of the issue in Dallas, our proposal and plan to solve for that, the success metrics,
numbers by age,
the success metrics, and the staffing that's going to be needed, our budget that we're going to have, and then we'll wrap up after that point. So let's get started.
If you look at unemployment numbers by age, it's even worse, as you're pointing out. Overall, for workers from 16 to 19, that number is about 20.7%. Unpacking that number by race, young whites have an unemployment rate of 17.5%, and as you're hinting here, young African Americans are more than double that number at 38%. Right. That's an astounding number.
It's astounding. That's nearly 40% for young black teenagers. Look, 1 in every 4 black youth ages 16 to 25 is unemployed right now. And so it's a huge problem, but it's not only a problem for the present, it's a problem for the future. How you start out as a young worker, how you enter the labor market determines your future earnings potential. If you're blocked out of opportunities now, you may be blocked out for a lifetime. It's a dramatic situation. It definitely needs attention.
And it costs the government sort of in both ways, in the taxes that we don't get from workers that are contributing to the economy, and also social services that we're providing to the unemployed.
That's true, but the good news is that this is a problem that's fixable. We know that if you get a college degree, your chances of finding a job increase dramatically. And so one of the fixes is to increase financial aid, make it more available. But even for college graduates, when it comes to young black youth, you still see double the unemployment rate for other college graduates. So that's when we have to match job training programs, perhaps paid internships with college graduates to make sure that they have the same employment opportunities going forward.
And what about manufacturing jobs? How does this address the equation?
You know, there is this huge segment of the economy that's actually taking off. And the one thing that young people have in their favor is that they're much more mobile than older workers. They can move to where the jobs are, and they can acquire skills that are needed for the economy of the future. So any program that we can get to get people attached to the labor market by growing skills and skill development within young people can only help their future employment picture going forward.
All right.
Next, James will come up to speak to you about the significance of this issue of unemployment and the significance of the issue to Dallas-Fort Worth as a whole.
Thank you, Sandy. So, just as the video said, there's a high unemployment rate for younger people and minorities, specifically in this area of Dallas, tied to the 75210 area code. To demonstrate this, I've brought a jar of marbles. This here will represent the unemployment rate in Dallas as a whole. Now, how many more jars do you think it would take to represent the unemployment rate of this zip code? Anyone? 4? Anyone else?
100.
100. Wow, that's a really interesting guess. No, it's 2.5 times more. This stuff demonstrated out here. So you can see it's vastly higher. If we look at the report put out by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, Dallas and Fort Worth area as a whole has 3.4% unemployment rate, while this specific area has a amazingly high unemployment rate of 8.5%. Furthermore, when you have such a high unemployment rate, it's going to lead to a lower labor participation rate. This is people not wanting to get jobs because they're feeling discouraged because there's such a high unemployment rate. Furthermore, as the video said, it will lower taxes that the government gets because they won't be getting taxes from the people working. And next up will be Hubert to talk about our proposed solution.
Well, thank you, James, for opening our eyes to the issue that we have in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So we are LinkedIn, as she has already told us. And we are the largest professional social media network. And we have about 450 plus million users, and 40% of those, 40 plus million of those are students like yourselves. We believe that we can use our capabilities and our application tools to help this youth minority to gain employment through our event that we want to call Linked Up. So Linked Up is our proposed solution for this problem. We want to go ahead and host a 2-part seminar that is going to be a one-time fair and resource, job and resource fair. We will have 2 seminars. That will be the first one. We will teach them about soft skills that they need. The second part is going to be using LinkedIn as a way to have professional networking. Our event is going to run from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Registration starting at 9:30. Then the first half of the morning we'll do the soft skills presentation and workshop. Then a lunch break. Then after that we will talk about using LinkedIn as a tool, and we will focus on the rest of the afternoon on getting headshots and setting up their profiles online. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk to you about the first part of the seminar. It's going to be the soft skills. So as the workplace evolves socially and technologically, soft skills are becoming very important. So you want to make sure that we teach them about teamwork, leadership, flexibility, and adaptability. And those skills, we believe that not only can they use them to find jobs and to keep their jobs, but also will help them better their communities. in becoming more productive citizens of their environment. So next up, I'm going to have Hafsa talk to us about the second part of our seminar.
Thank you, Bert. So the second part of the seminar is using LinkedIn to build a professional network. So we broke it down to 3 steps. The first one is creating your profile. The second is how to find a job or internship. And the third is to build your brand. And another thing we wanted to mention was how are we going to advertise? So since our age demographic is 18 to 24, social media is one of our biggest resources. Like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, that's how we're gonna advertise our flyers. And since our location's at the MLK Center, we're gonna put flyers up there, as well as the bus station and the DART and Dallas Public Library. So the booths at the actual event, the booths and the nonprofits, our 2 nonprofits are Dress for Success and 100K Opportunities. 100K Opportunities, they're gonna bring the companies that are hiring, and the companies that will bring are AT&T, Safeway, Red Robin, and Residence Inn, and Hilton, and companies as such. We will also have colleges, just like the DCCD, UNT Dallas, UTD, and University of Dallas, and they will have representatives to talk about application process, if they have any questions about degree plans, and other areas in that sector. Next, I will hand it off to Mike, and he will talk about success measures.
Thank you, Hafsa. So I will be speaking about success metrics, and the way we're going to do our success metrics, dividing between macro, micro, quantity, and then social impact. So the way to success metrics for macro, so we'll be able to evaluate after, so people who found jobs after about 45 days, and then also the benefits that it gives to the city and the benefits that it would give to the chamber. Those are our micro statistics, our macro. Then for our micro, it will be smaller things to measure. So the number of people who actually went, the number of profiles we were able to set up, and the number of new job offers. The way we'll be able to measure those statistics will be our quantified and qualified results, so post surveys and analytics, and then we'll be able to reach out to all the people who came, the attendees. So we'll do phone calls and follow-up surveys to be like, did you get a job offer? Look up their brand new LinkedIn profiles and see what new jobs they're working for. And then our social impact, where we're trying to see if our homeless rates have been lowered over a period of time. Also, more economic growth, so we're filling in the gaps, and we have more economic growth and taxes going up and whatnot. And then higher household income, since this area also suffers with pretty low family household income. Up next will be Jared talking about the staffing and budget.
Thank you, Mike. So now I have the pleasure of talking about the nitty-gritty with you. I'm going to be talking about our costs. So to begin with, we have our staffing costs. So in order to fund this event, there's quite a few different groups we have to bring in. So the biggest group that we're bringing in is going to be our very own LinkedIn employees. So about half of our staff, or well, the majority of our staffing costs is going to be actually going towards them. So this is going to be 25 employees that we're going to be bringing in for the full duration of the event, paying them the normal rate that they would be getting, so that they can help the people build up their portfolios and fill out all of their presentations. We're also going to be bringing in photographers so that we can take headshots for these people, as well as some basic janitorial staff to help clean up the Martin Luther King Center, and some people that will just be helping with the sign-in sheets at this event. So that leads us into our actual specific cost for this event as a whole. So we're operating out of a $25,000 budget. So out of that budget, our largest cost is in fact going to be our staffing cost, totaling out at about just over $9,500. Some of our other more specific costs are going to be the cost that we pay for the venue to help the Martin Luther King Center actually get some money out of this rather than donating the venue entirely for free. We're going to be providing some basic supplies for the event, such as some pens and notepads that the people can take home with them, as well as some food so that everyone there can get a nice meal. And as well as our marketing costs as well. So that will be things like our radio station and those such advertisements. So that brings our total budget out to a total of $25,000. So next up is going to be Sandy, and she's going to be talking about the opportunity that the Dallas-Fort Worth area has with this and the Dallas Chamber.
Thank you, Jared. To wrap up, as you've seen, we have demonstrated for you the plight of the citizens in the zip code of 75210. Their unemployment rate is dire at this point, and we want to partner with you, the mayor of Dallas, and our corporate sponsors to help these people who have been overlooked for a long time be able to get sustainable jobs, income, skills, and a LinkedIn profile to set them up for success. So we are hoping that the Chamber will join with us and help us put this event on. And we would like that contribution to come to about $12,500 because we want to pay for half of that. So we're hoping that the city will work with us and join with us to help the city and the citizens and the mayor get
LinkedIn.
Any questions? Do you have any questions?
Yeah, quick question. How many people will this be open to?
We're going to open it up. The advertising will go over the radio, so we're going to open it up to whomever may want to come and need the service. We are located in the southern sector of Dallas, Martin Luther King, right in the heart of South Dallas, because those are the citizens that we're really targeting. And so we're going to focus a lot of our marketing there, because we want as many of those to come out, of those citizens to come out as possible and see how many. So we're going to cast a large net, and all are welcome.
Thank you for that question. We're actually expecting around 500 people. That's our approximate guess. But yeah, thank you.
Any other questions?
What was your total budget that you're asking for the Chamber of Commerce? You said 25,000 was total.
12,500.
Okay.
So we want to partner with you, and we're going to put up half of whatever we can raise. We're willing to match that. Any other questions? All right, thank y'all so much.